Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR, HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
In all things in beauty. Welcome to RadioAMB, designed for those who want to live a long and vibrant life. I'm Patty Schmucker, your host, and someone who's been in the beauty industry for over 40 years. RadioAMB, which stands for American-Made Beauty, is a place where we tell the secrets behind the making of health and beauty products. Our program is sponsored today by Free Your Mane. That's spelled M-A-N-E. You can go to freeyourmane.com, or you can find Free Your Mane in anthropology stores and salons and spas across the United States. Today, we bring you the last in a series of interviews we've done with key executives at one of the most important distribution companies shaping the health, spa, and beauty world, Universal Companies. Universal Companies service over 35,000 spas, beauty, and healthcare professionals in North and South America by being the single source supplier for everything needed to operate a spa or salon. Our first interview, we brought the president of Universal Companies, Brenda Elliott, and last week we spoke with Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Karen Short. We've devoted this much time to Universal because this is a company that is shaping the career paths and the dialogue of the entire health and beauty industry by defining, educating, and inspiring innovation in the field of wellness. Today in our feature segment, we'll meet the third major player shaping Universal strategy, KellyWilson, VP of Product Development. You'll hear about her background and how all the things that she did in her career before joining Universal provided her the tools to make her the perfect person to support the original owner of Universal, Marty Mooring, during the early stages of the business. During our segment we call In the Jar, we'll continue our conversation with Kelly, and we'll talk about the wellness revolution, follow up on the conversations that we had with Karen Short, and look at how this translates into product. Then we'll move into our segment we call Beauty That's Soul Deep, and we'll hear about why the spa and wellness business is really a business from the soul. And finally, we'll wrap up with our Beauty Biz segment, where we'll talk about how spa professionals are extending their service beyond the time the client spends in the spa. If we have time, we'll talk to Kelly a little bit about what she sees that's ahead. So with that, let's get started, and let me tell you a little bit more about KellyWilson. Again, she's the Vice President of Product Development and Vendor Relationships for Universal Company. Kelly has over 25 years of creative marketing and public relation experience. She taught design, printmaking, and photography at Belhaven University in Mississippi before relocating to Northeast Tennessee in 1991. As Corporate Director of Marketing and Public Relations for a large regional healthcare system, she was with them for over 14 years. In 2006, Kelly was recruited by Universal Companies and is responsible for managing the product development team. Under her guidance, the team has been responsible for the selection of over 9,000-plus products, as well as building and maintaining relationships with all the brands that are represented by Universal Companies. Kelly's passion is helping spas and salons maximize their success by providing them with innovative products, service, and business solutions. Welcome, Kelly. I'm delighted to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Patty. It's great to be here. I'm really happy for the opportunity to talk to you and everybody out there in the industry, both consumers and professionals. It's great opportunity. Thank you.
Well, some can say that they're beauty divas, but when you've had your hands into over 9,000 spa and health products, what's the term that one would use for that kind of obsession?
Well, I don't know if I would say it's a beauty diva. As you were kind of introducing me, I got to thinking about my days in the art world, receiving or earning actually a Master of Fine Arts degree and then teaching art. If I could say one real takeaway was thinking creatively and creative problem solving. And so when our hands are in the goo, as I like to call it, it is usually because we're trying to creatively think of some problem, some solution to some challenge that a customer or customer segment is having. So I think I don't know, maybe creative problem solvers sounds a little bit better than beauty diva.
But that is really what your early career preparing you to really be the right person. When Universal came calling, you'd spent most of your early career really looking at creative solutions and marketing and how to communicate messages. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. And, in the early days, it was fun. When you just described it, I kind of thought of myself back in the studio with my hands elbow deep in screen printing ink. And, besides thinking creatively, you're exactly right. My career evolved into, still communication visually, but then also through words, and getting into marketing and public relations. And that has been the challenge and the fun. And, I think, Patty, it always starts with the listener or the reader. I think we always have to ask ourselves, what do they need, not only in product, but, or business solutions, but what do they need to hear? What are their questions? So it might sound a little bit like a patchwork quilt in terms of, the different things that I've done, but in my mind, there's I guess, to keep on that metaphor, there's that thread of creativity and messaging and communicating and really trying to solve the challenge that's before me or the customer.
So when you actually taught most of the creative part, creative marketing, public relations, printmaking, and when you started that, we weren't cut and pasting with a mouse and a keyboard.
Oh no! In fact, what a wonderful segue, because the story really is I became what is so lovingly called a trailing spouse. It was my husband that was recruited to Northeast Tennessee, and so I left that career behind me and had to look around and see that I was pretty specialized. And the university professors were young, with young families. They weren't going anywhere. And so what got my foot in the door at the first hospital in their marketing department is exactly what you said. It was, way back then we called it computer art, computer graphics. It hadn't even gotten to graphic design. But in 1991, there really weren't many people in our area of Northeast Tennessee that had any of that experience. And what I had, Patty, I had actually taught myself back at Belhaven, and just so that I could, keep my students, up to speed. And it was with the Macintosh, and, at the time, the hospital in our area, before it exploded and bought up all the other hospitals, had just purchased their very first Macintosh computer. There was one in the whole hospital.
Right.
And I think they had a Canon color copier as the output device. And they bought this, but they had nobody to, turn it on.
Right.
and it's funny. I share this with younger people who are trying to figure out what to study. And I said, isn't it something that it was just that one little piece of experience and then being at the right place at the right time that got my foot in the door. Beyond that, I could kind of talk forever about that, but really after getting into that department for about 6 to 8 weeks, there was a marketing manager who left, actually went to work for the competition. By then, they knew me, they liked me, and then they offered me 3 product lines in healthcare. So, overnight, wow, I was just, all of that creativity was thrown into a healthcare arena, so I had to learn a lot fast. but they trusted me, and I learned a lot on the job. And it was actually, Patty, during that time that it was a benefit offered, for the taking. They had tuition reimbursement. So I went back to school at night, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do this marketing gig, I might as well, learn something formally about it. And so I just, took a few classes at a time and, ended up with a Master of Business Administration. And then, it was right at that time that I was recruited to Universal. So,
and I want to ask you about what year that was. But before we go into Universal, I want to just step back for a moment and just pick some of those pieces that really I think is a common thread in all of the successful executives that or people that have been successful in this industry. Is the self-taught. You took the initiative to teach yourself, to sort of take advantage of different opportunities that came your way, but worked hard and worked full time and went back to school at night to advance yourself. Those were hard steps. Did you know at the time when you were doing all of that was you were just doing something different than other people were doing around you?
Well, I just thought that benefit, that tuition reimbursement was there. And, Patty, this was absolutely what I told myself. I said, I cannot speed up time, and I cannot slow down time. And so even if it takes me 6 years, which it did take me 6 years, and I'll tell you why in a second, at the end of the 6 years, I can either have an MBA or not, and I did work full-time the entire time. And so I needed to take it slow. But the reason why it was so much more for me is because, remember, my earlier degrees were in art, fine art, in fact. And so an MBA for most people is 30 hours. For me, it was 63. I think because they liked me. No. It was just I had to go back and kind of make up. I mean, it was a wonderful program. You know, they had advanced sessions to kind of get you up to speed. But still, I had to take so many more hours.
Right.
But that was okay. Like I said, I mean, I couldn't speed up time. I couldn't slow it down. But at the end of that time, I had a degree.
Right. And I think that, one of the things that I often find is that people feel somewhat overwhelmed, particularly with the idea, that's just too much to do. But it's just about taking it one step at a time. Like you said, the time was going to pass one way or another.
Right.
So by putting in that extra effort at the end of that 6 years, you had the MBA. So that was pretty exciting.
Right.
And so what year was it that you joined Universal, and at that point, what did the company look like?
It was 2006. I would think we probably had under 100 employees at the time. Our executive team was much smaller. I think we only had 6 of us. Well, and then our CEO, and then, of course, Marty Mornings, who you mentioned, our founder and owner, worked, day in, day out with us.
Right.
So back then we had probably, I know we had under 5,000 products or SKUs. And today we've really got, if you count, I always like to impress, Patty, so if you count, every color of every size of every option, we have over 16,000 SKUs.
Wow.
And they may not all be in our warehouse. We have more than 9,000 SKUs in our warehouse. But, there's still SKUs that we have to manage. So, or we actually are lucky to manage. We're very fortunate to manage.
Right.
So it's just grown by leaps and bounds. And then, certainly back then, I don't know that we had any of our sales folks that lived off-site, and now we're really very proud to have, members of our sales team in different states throughout the country. And then, of course, our most recent expansion in opening up the Wellness and Beauty Learning Center in Los Angeles has been huge for us.
Right. Now, you, at that point, there was the print catalog, and how often was the catalog printed?
Don't know. Good question. It was there was one resource book. It was an annual book, and when I came, we were just starting supplemental catalogs, and that wasn't going very well. So we changed the format, found a much more cost-efficient and a cost-efficient not only to print but even go for a broader reach, and expanded those supplemental catalogs. They became smaller in the print world. They're called a Slim Jim. We called them mini cats. We still do those, and we've had them focus on treatment modalities and sometimes seasonality, sometimes just retail or holiday, or Valentine's Day or romance. But that has been a really successful direct mail program that we instituted. And also at that time, when I joined Universal, we had a website, but, Patty, it was really just more of a kind of a billboard, broadcast. It wasn't interactional at all.
Right.
And so that has been a big change for us. And then also at that time, we didn't do any email, and I'm not sure many people were really doing, email marketing campaigns at that time. And I think we started in, I want to say it might have been 2008. And then, and we've just grown and grown and grown. I was hired as director of marketing and really had what is now the creative team. But we then brought in, another director, and we brought in e-commerce people, and of course we brought in Karen, and we just really had to expand in that area, and that has proved very successful for us.
And how is your team structured now?
Now I have 3 product development managers, and what we do, it's a small team, Patty, but product development is really owned by everybody in the company, because in bringing in new products, we have to do the analysis, the testing, the review, and the information preparation for every other department here. I mean, we have to have information so that the folks in shipping and receiving can do their jobs, and the folks in finance and accounts payable and receivables can do their jobs, and purchasing has all that they need to be able to order. Content has to have the information. So does marketing, creative development, and on and on and on. So we really facilitate what I like to call an open table. We bring those departments to the table so that we're all, having a voice in bringing in the best products for our customers.
So what do you look for from people on your team? What do you think are some of the things that make them successful and your team work real well together?
It takes a great deal of organizational skills, because you can just imagine, the amount of information that, all those things I mentioned, we have to have that, per SKU, prepare everybody per SKU. So, and also I should probably say we have over 330 vendors. Some of them might just have 1 or 2 SKUs in our portfolio, but others have 400 or 500 SKUs in the portfolio. And so we divide up the vendors, and everybody on my team has vendors that they manage those relationships and they manage those products. So you can imagine it takes a great deal of organizational skills. Beyond that, I think relationship is really most important. We build relationships with our vendors as we do with our customers. We want them to trust us. We want to trust them, and we have that. We're very fortunate to have that. And that kind of relationship takes nurturing. And so that's a really key point or a key attribute. The people on my team need to be nurturers, need to be relationship-oriented. And then, as we touched on, a little bit of creativity never hurt either.
And the other thing that's fun about working with your team as well is that everyone has a good time. They have a great sense of humor. I think that's got to be one of the prerequisites, because you've got such a great sense of humor.
Well, thank you, Patty. I'm trying to curb the sense of humor. But you know me, and I know you, so
that's right.
I'm trying to be on my best behavior.
Oh, please don't.
You're right, and a sense of humor really makes everything so much easier, because, of course, we all strive to do our best, but there are those unforeseen things that happen. You know, a product might be recalled, or you know, a customer didn't receive their product in time, or whatever. And you know, I just can't say enough about our customer service team and, you know, the great lengths that we do to make our customers happy at any and all costs. And you know what, Patty? In this day and age of, you know, people buying things just because of low cost on Amazon or whatever, you know, I still think that there are people who are out there that appreciate the customer service. And, again, I think that's why Universal has been successful. It certainly has been a differentiator for us.
Sure, absolutely. So before we take this first break, tell me a little bit about what you love most about the work you do.
What I love most about the work I do is really what I tell others and I tell myself, and that is, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more, but really believing that, you know, we're an important piece along that delivery chain of helping people feel better, whether it's physically feel better or emotionally, spiritually. They feel better about themselves, and you know, it's really the hands-on practitioners that, you know, that have the honor, I would say, of doing that. But you know, I feel like what I do and what my team does and what everybody, you know, in the industry is doing is really playing an important role in that final delivery of, you know, that boost in well-being and that boost in self-esteem. So that's what means the most to me.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about Universal's special ingredient. We call it wellness. You're listening to Radio AMB, and we will be right back with Kelly Wilson from Universal Company.
Shh! Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
Where positive people and radio unite. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. This is Patty Schmucker, and I am here with Kelly Wilson, Vice President of Universal Companies, the one-stop source for everything in spa and wellness. Kelly, the last week when we spoke with Karen, we talked a little bit about defining the word wellness, and I loved her definition, which was really about a proactive choice about how we take care of ourselves in order to optimize the way our mind and our body functions. And I'm sort of paraphrasing, but that's, you know, that proactive and being able to optimize. How are you seeing that wellness revolution translating into products and services?
Well, I think more and more, you know, the population who are really paying attention, who are looking at labels and studying and reading and taking it seriously, what they put on and in their bodies, like I said, is just growing. In 2008, I can remember Marty coming back from a meeting. I think it was at Low House, and that was the first time that people were talking about green or natural or organic, and at least that being a real trend in spa. And I think that it was that year, I think by the end of that year, that we first started indicating in our catalog which products were green, and what that meant to us and what that meant to our customers. And I've seen that trend grow and grow and grow. Something, I think, a little hiccup happened, in between there, because when Marty came back from that Lohas meeting, at that time, when they shared that it was going to be such an important trend, at that time they said, and people, the population, the consumers are willing to pay a premium for those services, for those products. And what happened is, we all remember in 2008, 2009, is we had a little hiccup in the economy. And, in fact, I was kind of worried. I thought, oh, my goodness, that population that was going to pay the premium, they can't pay the premium now. But I was so pleased to see that has hung on and grown. So I think that, in my opinion, Patty, people want it all. They want products that are green, but they also want them to be affordable. And sometimes, that's kind of a pressure point, because those better ingredients or the better, systems of manufacturing are costly.
Right.
And so, for us, and I do probably want to make a little bit of a stand here, and that is, please don't let anybody think that if you buy something from Universal, everything we have is automatically green, organic, or natural, and that's not true. All we really ask, we love those products, we look for those products, we try to steer away from products that have, any of the really no-nos, the bad ingredients, but if a product says that it's green, natural, or organic, it has to be. What we won't participate in is greenwashing.
Right.
We will not take on a product, and we're fortunate enough to have a sustainability expert on our team. And so, as you know, Patty, every new product we look at goes to her, and she, luckily she had a minor in chemistry, so she understands what all the ingredients are, and she's there to advise us,
right,
and make sure that we kind of stick to our guns. But in wellness, I mean, those are the products that are still growing. I think another challenge, though, and I just heard this kind of reiterated again at Cosmoprof Bologna, is results-oriented. People want skincare and body care that are results-oriented. And I think really what the challenge will be, Patty, and the wave of the future is really those green products that are natural and organic and good for us, but that are also results-oriented. And that's where I see growth.
Right. And we're having growth in that area. Why? Why do you think that we're finally being able to see the trifecta? It's green, it's affordable, and it actually does what it says it's going to do.
Well, certainly the population. I hate always going back to the baby boomers, but in fact, I will share just a little bit of a joke, and that is, I was just waiting at Cosmoprof, until someone started mentioning the millennials, and what they were saying is that, the millennials, or the people who are very, very young, they're really much more into the green and natural organic, and when they start getting my age, Patty, you know, it's kind of a shift or, you know, an evolution over to the, not panic, but, you know, we need the results oriented. But, you know, so I think that population is growing. And just as you said, I think that they still want, you know, it's the information age, the technology age, you know, we're so aware of, you know, everything that's bad for you. And, you know, we become hypersensitive to it, which I guess is a good thing. But, you know, we just want to make sure that we're, you know, using the right products, that, you know, they are working, especially for those baby boomers, that larger population. And, you know, to have it for all, you know, not just for the rich. These products need to be affordable. So I think that's the trifecta, you know, effect, as you say.
Right, exactly. And so are there any things that stand out in your mind in terms of new ingredients that are entering the market through products that either in natural or organics or just in terms of products that you've had your hands on that are particularly exciting about delivering wellness solutions?
I'm not the chemist, so I'm not really going to be able to speak to the ingredients. And I do, although I want to say two things at once. You know, one that was mentioned by a company that I won't mention that does a lot of research in skincare and body care and looking for those natural solutions. You know, they mentioned a type of stem cell, a specific type of plant stem cell that they were excited about. And then the other one that I remembered, but they didn't really talk about application, but the other one that they mentioned was chamomile. And so maybe even, you know, you could kind of speak to that as well. Yeah.
Well,
the other thing I wanted to say is, please, you know, I don't know if I'm, you know, okay to mention different product lines, but, you know, we do currently have a skincare line that boasts about being natural and green and clean and organic, and I actually use that line and feel that, you know, it is very results oriented. So
absolutely. And what's the brand?
It's Pharmaesthetics.
Pharmaesthetics. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's it spelled?
Excuse me?
How's it spelled?
Oh, Pharmaesthetics.
Okay. Okay.
It's like aesthetics with farm.
Okay.
The front of it.
Front of it. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know that is very interesting because you know one of the guests that we had earlier a couple weeks ago was talking about plant cells, and I think the stem cells, and I think this is a particularly interesting category within botanical ingredients. Much like human stem cells, a stem cell is a cell that has the capacity to be multiple different things within the plant. So it grows as the stem, but it can grow into the leaf, or it can grow into the flower. It can grow into the bark, and that's the whole idea. Much like our stem cells, it has the capacity to be anything in the body. So as a result of it, it has that special energy within the cell that allows it to provide some great benefits, nutrients applied to the skin. So I think in terms of the whole area with wellness, it, again, is one of those areas where we have both the benefit to the body as well as the benefit to the planet because we're using things that are sustainable and botanical. So
right.
I believe that that's definitely part of the overall wellness revolution. Right. Kelly, thanks so much on that subject. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Kelly and talk a little bit about really why the wellness business is a soul business. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call earthchannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. You're listening to RadioAMB on HealthyLife.net. I'm your host, Patty Schmucker, and we're here with KellyWilson, Vice President of Universal Companies, your one-stop source for everything in spa and wellness. Now, this is the section where we normally talk about beauty that's soul deep. And, Kelly, tell us a little bit why the spa and wellness business is really a soul business.
Wow, it's such a soul business. And, you know, the people, the practitioners, the estheticians and the massage therapists, the cosmetologists, the nail techs, you know, the people who actually have the opportunity to deliver the services. I mean, those are the folks that I think I hold in the highest regard. But, you know, I think that for everybody in the industry, I want everybody to feel good about what they do no matter where they are on that delivery chain, you know, as I had mentioned earlier. The practitioners are really almost, you know, in this part of the country, we talk about healing and laying on of hands. And I think that when, you know, they're delivering those services, whether it's a massage or a facial, you know, they're making those clients, those spa goers, feel good about themselves, feel better physically. And, you know the old adage of, you know, you look good, you feel good, or you feel good, you look good. I think that, you know, they're also boosting the client's self-esteem. And that's what I think, you know, all the whole wellness and the whole well-being is about. And from the soul, you know, I mean, I can't imagine other than being a physician or a nurse, I can't imagine a profession that is more honorable, actually, you know, in being able to change people's lives in that way. And you know, I think I had mentioned earlier, here at Universal, you know, we're a distributor of products, and we're looking for services and business solutions for our customers, the spas, for their customers. And so I always remind, you know, people here at Universal, even, you know, the sales team, the folks in the call center, you know, why do you come to work today, you know, each day? Why do you do what you do? And I tell them that, you know, the piece that they have along this this delivery chain is important because it goes all the way down to providing that wellness and that well-being for the clients and the spa goers. And to me, that's the soulful part of what we do.
And it's interesting that you said it well, that everybody is in the delivery chain. So, yourself as a person who's curating brands, all of your team as your product development managers that manage each one of these vendor relationships, they're part of the delivery chain. So there's this huge network that ultimately is the support system to those people that actually lay on the hands.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And it's I've talked about vendor relations. My team and I actually have the opportunity to speak with our customers, whether it's on the phone, whether it's at trade shows or in classes, and that's always a privilege as well. To hear from them, what are their challenges, what's going well for them, what could improve, because, and we get it, it's about business. We understand that. But, I think those who are the most successful in this business are the ones that are really working from the soul. And I think, Patty, there's a whole lot of people who would line up behind me and agree with that.
Right, absolutely. Do you think that people can be trained to serve and come from that place, or are the best people to be successful as practitioners in our industry? Is that a mindset that somebody has to be born with?
Patty, it's really, not to evade the question, it's really a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are people that have that natural ability. They're just born with it. But there are other people, I don't ever like to give up on anybody, mm-hmm. But there are other people who, struggle a little bit, but they can be trained. It all comes down to the passion.
Right.
If you, maybe there's a person who doesn't have that, born, ability to nurture, to deliver the service. But if there is a passion, if they want it, if they understand what they're delivering, and they're committed to it, yes, I do think that they can be trained. Will they, be as great as, the one who has that, God-given gift? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe, with enough practice and enough passion and commitment, they will be. So.
Right. And you guys have done quite a bit with regards to providing tools for training. I know we talked with Karen about, and with Brenda also, about the new wellness and learning center that you have here in Southern California. But what do you think are some of the training programs that you guys have developed that teaches some of those concepts about nurturing?
Well, as you know, the center is fairly new. We just opened in February, I believe, mm-hmm. And we're really open to anything and everything, Patty, and I'm glad that you kind of laid that opportunity open, because certainly we will have product classes and how-to treatment classes, but we've even talked about offering kind of more business classes and marketing classes. So, I mean, I can't speak to, what the curriculum is thus far, but, certainly we would be open to offering that type of education and training, in how to nurture. And part of that is even customer service.
Right.
So I think that would be an absolute perfect fit. Mm-hmm. The Wellness and Beauty Center, it isn't just about, like I said, the products. It's really about any and every aspect. It's about, our commitment to education and training, mm-hmm. To give the spas and the salons and the professionals anything and everything they need.
Right.
That's why we're here, mm-hmm. and that's why we're there.
Right. Exactly. And when we talk about that environment, you guys also have put a lot of resources into the actually creating products for the environment, equipment, all of the things that make the service a comfortable service. Tell us about one of the products I think is particularly exciting is your whole thing with regards to linens. How did you get in the linen business?
There was a need, and we had worked with other companies and who had tried different things, different types of treatments on their linens. And, there's a lot of change in the industry. Companies buy other companies. And, all of a sudden there was a need for Sposh is our brand, a microfiber, based linens that was affordable. And, we just were very fortunate enough to meet with a couple of gentlemen who had a great deal of experience in this arena and have been able to provide for us, beautiful linens that are microfiber. They take less energy and less water in washing and drying them. They're soft and get softer with each washing, and they're affordable. And so, that was, it is one of our proprietary brands, but it was a brand that we developed just, from listening to our customers. And that's probably something I've been remiss in saying. Patty, we listen to our customers. We have a customer advisory board. The folks in the call center are keeping up with all of the requests that are coming through. We listen to our customers at trade shows, and we're always trying to provide what they want and what they need.
And that's the part that's, that confirmation of the soul, because they're coming to you with seeing the real needs that their clients have and wanting you to help them provide the solutions.
Right.
And that's really what Universal has been great about. All right, well, we're going to take our last break, and when we return, we'll hear a little bit about Kelly's focus to help Universal companies succeed and translate that into better services for consumers. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
You're listening to RadioAMB, where we share the secrets behind the beauty industry. Our program sponsor today is Free Your Mane, so you can see Free Your Mane online at freeyourmane.com or at anthropology stores or at salons and spas across the U.S. I'm Patty Schmucker, and we're here with KellyWilson, Vice President of Universal Companies, the one-stop source for everything in spa and wellness. When a spa owner talks to you, Kelly, about making their business success, what are some of the key concepts that you try and share with them?
I think that certainly customer service, having providing a beautiful spa experience, whether in the decor or, just the sound. I think all of that is very important. But one thing that I usually talk to the customers about is retail, the R word. And it isn't just about retail and the opportunity that affords them in terms of increasing their revenue. it's really about connecting with their customers and providing products and home care that will extend the service and be, so meaningful to those customers, even, after their spa treatment.
And when you talk about extending the service, how is it that taking the product home is an extension of the service?
Well, the story I like to tell is, I've been being in this business. I've been very fortunate to visit hundreds of spas and have so many different treatments. Tough job, huh,
right.
Patty?
Somebody's got to do it, right?
The best situation when I'm having a treatment is when I have that esthetician or therapist ask me for my permission, do you want to hear about the products? Do you want to know about them? Do you want to know about this treatment and what I'm doing? And I always want to learn, and I always say yes. I like the fact that if I just want to zone out, I can say no. But basically, when I say yes, I'm then giving that professional permission to talk to me about the products.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm having that service, whether it's at a day spa or whether I'm on vacation and I'm, at a destination spa, Patty, I always think I want to take some of that magic home with me.
Right.
And, I want to know about those products. Maybe I can't afford hundreds of dollars of products, but maybe I can afford to take one or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to know about the product, and I need to know about how to use that product once I get home.
Mm-hmm.
So, specifically, that's for that destination spa. But for the day spa, my goodness, they have the opportunity to get me on a program,
mm-hmm.
whether I'm going to come back in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or 6 weeks, whether that's, working on my skin or, body issues. Those options are there, and I would think different price points would be there for, the different types of customers. And that's what I try to explain to the spas and the salons, that, it isn't a breach of the trust that, we talked about the practitioners laying on hands and being healers. It's really not a breach. If they will ask that person permission, and once they're granted permission, they then talk to them about the benefits of the products and the benefits of home care and maintenance and coming back to the spa, come back to see me in 2, 4, 6 weeks, whatever is really that prescription.
And that's as we age, I think it becomes more and more apparent to us that our bodies are constantly changing. So from the consumer's perspective, having those tools that they can use at home is part of what makes it easier for them to take care of themselves. But a lot of industry professionals have been reluctant to give the client the tools for fear that the client won't come back.
Right.
How do you overcome that thinking?
I think that, and again, it depends on, what the treatment is, what the needs are. But, I think that basically it comes down to that practitioner and the trust that they build and the understanding, so that, yeah, Patty, I can put the same products on my face, okay? But and I think that's important for the maintenance, for the home care. But it's never the same as when the esthetician does it. That expertise, that he or she has is just beyond anything I can do. And that's where that trust and that relationship has to be built. That's where that practitioner has to take the time to explain that and build that relationship with their customers so that they understand. I trust you. This is your part of it. You're taking part of your wellness. You're going to keep doing this, but you're going to come back to me and we're going to check. I'm going to adjust your treatment. I'm going to adjust your products as needed. And that relationship is built there. It's just really like going to the doctor,
right. And the whole idea too, that's part of the fallacy in that thinking is that the time that a client sits in the spa is a nanosecond of his or her daily life. So having those products that they can use at home, that it allows them to extend that service, only enhances the overall benefit that one is going to get from having those services so that they feel better about what's taken place and is able to maintain it, long after the service has gone on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that, the practitioner who really understands what they're doing, they understand that client, maintaining and doing the home care and coming back for the next facial or next massage, that's really even building the belief that, that practitioner's the best. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
The practitioner's going to have the best results, over time if that customer will do the home care and come back and come back and come back.
And that's really the key. I mean, I can't tell you how many times when I go to reach for the bottle of shampoo that I'm using, because, of course, I'm buying all of my products from professionals who have recommended something. When I go to reach for that bottle, I think about that person. So there's really no better way to continue to reinforce that authority to have a product in the consumer's hand that is reminding them that you are the one that recommended and you're the professional.
Right, and when you do that, Patty, it's building your own confidence in that professional, and that's huge.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't buy that,
Right.
That's huge.
Absolutely. Well, Kelly, as we wrap up, can you tell us what you see ahead for this wellness revolution that's going on?
I'm hoping that the manufacturers will hurry up. How about that? I really hope that we will have more products for face and body that, and hair and nails that are good for us. There's nothing harmful in them. They're results-oriented, and for everyone, they're affordable.
Mm-hmm. Those are the things you're looking for.
The trifecta, as you call it.
All right, great. Well, Kelly, it's just been a pleasure having you and Brenda and Karen with us. Thanks for taking the time to tell us the story and share with us some of the things that we need to know, both in terms of offering services as well as selecting products and educating.
Sure. Thank you, Patty. It's always, always so great to talk to you.
Thank you. So that'll do it for us today. Don't miss our program. In the next 2 weeks, I've started another series, and I'm very excited about this one as well. Next week, we will have the co-owner of Intelligent Nutrients, Kieran Starden, who is the wife of Horst Rechelbacher, and the following week we will have his daughter, Nicole Rechelbacher, who will be with us. We'll hear the story, my favorite, of Aveda and how Intelligent Nutrients came to be and how it is today and what the amazing things that they're doing with one of the first and only certified organic full line of hair care and natural and organic products, but a company that's just doing some amazing things with their ethos about people, planet, and being able to make a difference in the future. So that's an important couple of programs we have coming up. Don't miss it. Send your questions and comments to requests@AmericanMadeBeauty.com. I'm Patty Schmucker. You're hearing us on RadioAMB on HealthyLife.net. Thank you for listening to Radio AMB, where we think pretty is pretty important in all things in beauty.